Y'all, the receipts have been coming out of this Diddy case are crazy, and it looks like we finally might know why Rihanna decided to leave the music industry for good. And it has everything to do with Jay Z. Apparently, after years of abusing and victimizing her, Jay Z started passing poor Riri around to his friends, and she ended up being forced to participate in Diddy's freak-offs. And now, Riri is allegedly working with the feds to expose Jay Z, Diddy, and all the men that made her life hell when she was too young to defend herself. We've been hearing rumors about Jay Z taking advantage of Rihanna for a hot minute now, but things got wilder when insiders started confirming that Jay Z and Diddy were freak-off bros. It didn't take long for people to start wondering if maybe Rihanna was pushed into that freak-off lifestyle because, let's be real, we've heard the rumors about what Jay Z used to do with them girls back in the day. And Rihanna wasn't any exception. See, Rihanna got into the industry when she was still a teenager, and she was managed by Jay Z, who basically ran the show. Now, say what you might about Jay Z, but he had talent management down to a T. So, he and Rihanna had a very close bind early on. Rihanna also didn't take Jay Z's mentorship for granted because he basically put her on and gave her the best career head start that she could have asked for in the game. But then the rumors started coming in that Rihanna and Jay Z were an item, even though he was already married to Beyonce at the time. Now, at first, these rumors seemed like just normal industry gossip that would fade away with time, but they didn't. They kept getting stronger. Everything came to a head when Rihanna's publicist, Jonathan Hay, came forward and took the blame for starting the whole rumor about Jay Z and Rihanna having an affair. He said, "The PR stunt that I did was out of desperation to help break Pon de Replay. It was reckless and I didn't think it was going to work. I was just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick." Hay continued saying, "I didn't think it would be this story, but knowing that people are profiting from speculations and opinions about her really turns my stomach. I'm ashamed that I'm even talking about this. I just want to put this rumor to rest once and for all." But a lot of people weren't buying this story for many reasons. I mean, firstly, Rihanna was already an it girl at the time, and she definitely didn't have anything to gain from that shabby attempt at a PR stunt. However, that was the only explanation available, so everyone kind of went with it until Rihanna finally let the cat out of the bag and told the real story of how Jay Z signed her. Now, y'all might have already heard the fairy tale version of it, but what a lot of people don't know is that it's much darker than we could have ever imagined. So, before Hollywood and before the fame, Rihanna was just a little girl from Barbados. Everything changed when she caught the eye of a music exec who happened to be on vacation on the island. Next thing she knew, Rihanna was on a plane to the US to perform for L.A. Reid and Jay Z. Mind you, Rihanna was just a teenager and she was performing alone in front of two grown men. No parental guidance or adult on her side, nothing. But it gets weirder. Apparently, Rihanna was waiting in that room with two grown men till 3 a.m. because the label was so impressed with her that they didn't want her to leave till she signed the dotted line. That's just all levels of shady.
Let's talk about Rihanna. The diva Rihanna. She's from Barbados?
Yeah, she's
Okay.
Bayesian.
Okay, she's Bayesian. How did you come in contact with her? I mean, did you fly over there?
No, Jay Brown had actually bought me the song. She has a song right now, and it's I wouldn't say massive because of her roots, but she has this outrageous song called Pon de Replay.
And just so you know how messy the situation was, during an interview, Rihanna made a joke about Jay Z threatening to throw her out the window of the 27th floor office window.
Said, "We don't sing songs here, we sing artists." And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, "And we're interested." And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it whole
I did a lot of homework on you, Miss Lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So just imagine how that situation must have played out. 16-year-old Rihanna in the same room with some of the most powerful men in the music industry. She's about to sign the most important deal of her life, and she doesn't even have a parent or a lawyer to guide her through it. Now combine that with the fact that Rihanna was basically being threatened with violence if she refused to sign the contract. Jaguar Wright basically confirmed just how unhinged this whole thing was when she revealed that Jay Z actually trafficked Rihanna to the US using his label as a cover.
Who discovered Rihanna at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room on the island where she comes from with no parental supervision. And then she was put on a private plane, a minor, from one country to another without parental supervision. And she ended up in a boardroom with Mr. Carter without parental supervision. Y'all got young children. Would you just let your daughter leave and go to a whole other country with some motherfucking niggas you don't know?
Absolutely not.
Doing talent shows at 3 a.m.
Then she dropped the bombshell that Rihanna's father picked up $500,000 cash in exchange for basically handing his daughter over to Jay Z.
Because her daddy ain't show up till 24 hours later to pick up a $500,000 check for his daughter's ass. Maybe we should look more into that album, Auntie. That album cover was disturbing. A child bride with a crown over her head and blood smeared on her face. I don't know. How don't people see SOSs anymore?
Child, when we talk about the industry preying on children, sometimes we really have to ask where the parents of these children were when all that was going on. Because allowing your daughter to get caught up in that situation and make profit off of it is wild. But it makes sense when you think about the fact that Rihanna used to talk about how her father used to hurt her and her mother was violent with them on many occasions. According to Jaguar, Rihanna basically got sold to Jay Z. But that's not all. In another interview, Jaguar went even deeper and dropped the bombshell that Jay Z used to make Rihanna perform certain favors for him, if you know what I mean. And according to her, Jay wasn't just making Rihanna do these things for him alone. Oh no, he was taking her to industry events and making her do favors on different industry men. According to Jaguar, this might have been the reason why Chris Brown lashed out at Rihanna back in 2009.
On to Chris Brown beating Rihanna, you know what I'm saying?
I don't understand why people keep talking about that. It was forever ago. They were both very young, and he had just had his first herpes outbreak from her giving him the herpes.
Ooh, my.
Like, how the fuck did, you know what I mean? Like people don't understand what happened that night. And that's because Jay Z worked so fucking hard to change the narrative of that night. Now, Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started fucking with her and signed to the Def Jam. It's clear to say that the herpes that she had came from the person she had been most sexually involved with, and that was Sean Carter.
Rihanna's publicist had a lot to say about this too. He hinted that Jay Z might have had a hand in much darker things than we give him credit for. According to him, he once got interrogated by the feds in relation to an alleged Jay Z scheme, and they believed Rihanna could have been one of his victims. He said, "It's time for me to finally set the record straight once and for all, as it is way beyond shocking, messy, and just flat out crazy AF. Prepare to be blown away by what I've been through over the years involving this historical scandal that needs to be put to bed for good. Yes, heads are going to roll and people will be floored, but the truth needs to be revealed." According to Hay, when he first lit the fire to those Jay Z and Rihanna rumors, the feds interrogated him because they had been investigating Jay Z. He said, "One day, unmarked law enforcement cars stopped me. These intimidating individuals introduced themselves as a federal task force, and they requested to speak with me, so I followed them to talk, and I was in a complete state of panic. As I sat in the desolate makeshift interrogation room, the gravity of the situation became clear to me. They mentioned that they had been keeping a close watch on Jay Z since he Lance Un Rivera, and he was also being implicated in a violent incident with R. Kelly during their joint tour, promoting Jay Z and R. Kelly's joint album. The officers clarified that they were investigating Jay Z for allegedly engaging in illegal activity with underage Rihanna and transporting her across international borders. They said she wasn't the only one, and there were many others. No one benefits from reckless ambition," he continued. "The interrogation was a brutal reality check. However, looking back now, there are some serious red flags, as Jay Z was once very close to R. Kelly, and they have 2 collaborative albums. They have like 30 songs together, and they've toured together. As we all know, Jay Z has been extremely close to Diddy for several decades, so it's not very hard to come to some of the conclusions that Trap Lord Ross and Jaguar Wright have come to with Jay Z. Woo, child, but it gets worse. You know how Jay Z has been friends with Diddy since way back? Well, it would turn out that they did more than just share drinks at parties. Allegedly, they have so many shady dealings together, and that's why Jay Z tried to distance himself from Diddy when it became clear he was being investigated by the feds. I mean, the moment Cassie filed that explosive and disturbing lawsuit against Diddy, Jay Z suddenly started acting like he didn't know his bestie Diddy anymore. And trust Jay Z to try and be sneaky about it too. He has been moving really weird this year, like not holding his annual Rock Nation brunch, even though this is something he absolutely never misses. Y'all know how Jay Z likes to keep his hands on the pie. And the Rock Nation brunch, it's his way of moving and shaking things in the industry and keeping all the who's who close. So for him to just cancel it, you know it's something serious. According to to rumors, it's because Jay-Z couldn't decide between risking it all for his best friend Diddy or not inviting Diddy and making it clear he was throwing his friend under the bus. So he just decided to cancel the whole thing. And who can blame Jay-Z for distancing himself from Diddy? We've heard the allegations, they're beyond horrifying. Just the thought of that security footage the feds released of Diddy outing hands on Cassie is enough to send chills down anyone's spine. And now it's come out that that footage is nothing compared to the rest of the evidence against Diddy, which also implicates some people in his inner circle, including Jay-Z. As for Rihanna, word on the street is that she might already be working with the feds as we speak. And wouldn't you know it, they're even saying she has her own receipts for some of these things. Child, this case is looking like it's gonna bring the whole industry to its knees, and people are here for it. They're saying enough is enough. It's time to completely overhaul the system. But do y'all think Rihanna really was a freak-off victim? And is Jay-Z finally gonna meet his karma? Leave your thoughts and comments below, and then check out this next video.